Previously on Pretending with Dice.
How many times I have to tell you, Lambert? There ain't no conspiracy.
It's not conspiracy.
Dodgy as fuck.
So as you guys come out, I summon my dove. Apollonia is her name.
You do notice as you approach the square, looks to be a dark figure just creeping along the side.
I don't know many guys that put flowers out. It's usually the wife's job, so.
It might just be really fucking sexist, guys.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Pretending with Dice. As always, I'm your host and Game Master, AJ. Just a quick intro this week before we jump back into the game. At the time of recording this intro, we've just passed 100 downloads. It means so much to us to pass that milestone, so thanks over and over again to all of you for checking us out. If this is your first episode, welcome along, but I'd recommend heading back to episode 1 to get the full storyline and character introductions and whatnot for this story arc, but it's totally up to you. Finally a brief recap of what happened last time. Our characters Prance, Bork and Erivale, fresh from fighting a group of goblins attacking a cottage outside the town of Erivale, had delivered the one survivor, a young girl whom the goblins were seemingly trying to abduct, to her uncle, Officer Lambert of the Town Watch. He told the group of other child disappearances in the town throughout the previous week and directed them towards the father of the first missing child, a man called Martin Sommerfeld. But not before his boss, Officer Bowrick, made it clear that he didn't believe that anything sinister was really going on in the town. The group then secured lodgings at the inn and asked around for more information. Erivale took the opportunity to sneak around town after dark, and upon spotting a hooded figure lurking around in the town square, followed it back to a house where he discovered it was Officer Bowrick himself. But with no real evidence of any wrongdoing, all he could really do was sort of sit and watch for anything else suspicious going on. The following morning, the group reconvened and went to visit Martin Sommerfeld to talk about how his child had come to be missing. And yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. Thanks again for listening. Let's jump back into the game. As we rejoin, Bork, you're in the toilet. What would you like to do?
I'll return to the guys, I think. I realise there's not much going on in this toilet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the two of them are still sat in the lounge, kind of awkwardly. It was an awkward kind of poignant silence with Martin as you just kind of wandered off to the toilet for a couple of minutes, and you're all sort of sat there.
Well, I got his permission at first. But...
Well, yeah, I know, but like it's an awkward silence. You're sat. The two of you guys are sat in Martin's lounge, sort of.
And for Prance would be sat there just sort of making little sparks and things. He's just obsessed with the ability to create visual effects in front of himself.
Just kind of amusing yourself.
I'm sat just kind of like, not purple rain in it, but maybe like, I don't know, sparks or something. Just
you're trying out some new stuff.
Constantly doing it in my hand, not really paying any attention.
Okay.
You are funky.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Are you doing anything, Erivale?
Constantly being exasperated by these two idiots.
Just glowering in the corner.
Well, we couldn't get any information that was particularly relevant from him, so I'm...
You got some stuff. I think you kind of... but nothing that really kind of furthered your investigation.
Nothing that broke the case.
Only that he wasn't in at the time, and you realised that his house was the last one on the north side of town. So it's not exactly like anyone who took it was sort of creeping into the town or anything. It's quite an open space at the back of his house.
I think we should have a look to see if there's anything north of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. Are you leaving this cottage then?
Let's make our apologies to this gentleman for having wasted his time and glare at Bork.
I'm so sorry for your loss and also potentially for your outhouse. We'll leave you be now.
Okay, that's fine. Remember, tell me if you hear anything about Tomas.
Of course.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so three of you leaving through the front door. What would you like to do?
I'd like to go to so we are north of the house and having a look away from the house to see if there's anything suspect.
Okay, so from the north of the house you can see some sort of open fields, sort of quite high corn sort of growth in a lot of them, but the ones sort of the further north you look, before it gets to the edge of the woods, the fields don't look like they've been tended very well, and you can see a windmill near there as well, and what looks like a kind of rundown farm a little way off. So you guess maybe it's been abandoned somehow.
The fields look like they've had an angry old lady running through them recently.
It looks very naughty, is what it looks like, but it's tough to tell from this distance. Keeping it up with the political hot takes.
The cogs just turned. Maybe I'm not quite awake, but I finally realised what you were referencing.
Oh.
Fields of wheat. Oh yeah.
The second he said fields of wheat, I was...
Well, it was fields of corn, but like it's close enough.
Well,
Wheat, corn. It says mundane.
I'm happy to break character to rag on the Conservative government.
always.
Okay.
So yeah, you see like the fields closest to the town look like they're still being tended, but the further away, like towards the edge of the forest, sort of to the north and off a little bit to the northwest, it looks a little bit more like it's been abandoned a little bit, and you can see some buildings there, and there's definitely a windmill up that way.
Okay.
I think we should go check out the windmill.
Go and check out the windmill.
Windmill.
Good an idea as anything else.
Yeah.
That was sensible.
Wow.
Okay. Hang on. Corn and windmills are flammable. Oh no.
Oh, crap.
This may have been the biggest mistake.
It was at this moment.
Prance is completely on board with it. Just gives you an absolute affirmative. Like, yeah, I'm down for that. In a very uncharacteristic kind of way.
Weirdly cooperative. Bork, you on board?
I'm on board.
Okay.
Cool.
We're going to go check out the windmill.
Okay, so it's a little distance. It takes you guys maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get to the windmill. I mean, it's a nice day out again, so I don't know how much of a rush are you guys in to get to this windmill? Or are you just taking in the scenery? It's kind of mid-morning at this point as well.
Prance don't run.
France's philosophy on life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The Prance is far too casual for this. Like, if you guys want to run on ahead, I will catch up. But it's up to you.
You're well in favour of a nice leisurely amble.
Casual roll with Apollonia. Just
Yeah.
Do we think it'd be worth me going on ahead to check it out? So if there isn't anything there, I can come back and let you know.
what do you reckon, Bork? With your little legs, are you going to slow us down?
Oh, me slow you up? Oh, Christ. No,
He pole vaulted.
I pole vaulted a toilet, so
Fair enough, true.
an outhouse. So
Yeah, I mean your walk speed's like a little slower than these guys, like because you're just a bit
True.
shorter. But like you're quite athletic, so like you felt if you needed to put on a burst of speed, you could probably easily keep up.
yeah, I'll keep up because this Prance is a bit weird. So
Okay.
You're keeping an eye.
I'll keep as well as keep my distance.
Yeah.
So are we going to go on ahead?
We'll go on ahead. You enjoy the scenic route. Is that cool?
I'm going to try not to set fire to anything.
Don't run through too many fields. It's too naughty.
So yeah, okay. Well, it's a good sort of 3/4 of a mile to a mile outside of town. This is right way on the outskirts. It's about the same distance, if not a little bit further from the town than the other cottage was, although that was in a different direction. As you approach, you can see. You're going on ahead then, are you?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah,
okay.
me and Bork can go on
yeah.
ahead.
As you kind of get to the last kind of couple hundred meters towards it, you guys sort of split off and head towards it. Are you going to sort of try and stealth it a little bit, or are you just going to
I'm going to
walk up
stealth
a little
it,
bit?
yeah.
Okay, can I get a stealth check from you? So D20, add to your stealth score.
Oh, natural. We've got 20, 25.
First roll of the night. Start as you mean.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you are one with the wheat.
The most hidden.
You are not running through these fields of wheat. The fields of wheat are running through you. Can I get a stealth check from you as well, Bork? That's not
4 plus. Is it?
Stealth.
It's definitely
Oh,
zero.
sorry. Yeah, it's
so,
0.
So 4.
It's a strong 4.
Okay, so it's a gentleman's 4. So yeah, Enade, you can sort of stealth ahead
Do you want to stealth around the back?
quite well.
I'll go around the back and he can just.
Bork,
stomp
your
through.
your heavier armour is really kind of weighing you down as you step forward through the
Chink in my arm.
things. You're really crunching your way through like the corn and wheat. You're just sort of sort
It's a
of
mire
it's
of
not
corn.
very stealthy at all. As you approach, though, there's not really any signs of movement around the windmill. It does look a little bit dilapidated. You'd guess it was maybe been abandoned for a year or so, really. Yeah, the sails are a little bit tattered and they're not really moving in the breeze at all or anything. You would guess from a glance that the machinery is a bit sort of seized up inside. Probably the door does appear to be sort of boarded shut on the windmill structure itself.
Okay.
As they're approaching this, is Prawns perhaps on the side of the field of wheat? Perhaps like where?
I mean, where it is, you're kind of making your way kind of out of a field. The windmill isn't like in some grown wheat itself. Like it's sort of, there's a field and then there's a kind of grassy area that the windmill is in. So you're sort of making your way through the last bits of the wheat field.
So Prawns is still in the field then?
Yeah, you're still in the field. I just
want to know where I'm at any given moment.
That's fair enough. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, that's what I was fearing.
Could you say that slightly more? Mission statement.
So what would you two like to do? From your vantage point at the moment, you don't see any movement around it.
I'm going to check around the building, see if there's any like low windows or anything else I might be able to get in through.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Yep. 7.
So not quite as good. I mean, it does appear to be sealed up, quite well. Like I say, the door has been boarded closed. Although you'd think with a little bit of effort you could probably pry it open, but there's no low windows or anything. It's not like a sort of. There's not any windows on the ground floor. At least there's a kind of.
I was about to say, is it worth climbing?
You tell me.
Do you want to try and have a look?
Yeah, I mean, my height's not going to really benefit any windows anyway, I don't think, higher up. But
there might be something low to the ground I missed.
True.
What do your dwarf eyes see? Halfling eyes see?
Yeah. I'll have a look around near the entrance, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Although I noticed you said it's boarded up, but look a bit closer.
Sure, can I get another investigation check for me then?
18.
Oh, that's a little bit better. Plus anything, or just 18?
No, just 18.
Just 18. I mean, yeah, the board's a little bit loose. You reckon with a good bit of work, you could definitely get into the windmill if you needed to. The grass around here doesn't look like it's been tended at all. There's a lot of weeds growing up around and everything, and some flowers and stuff poking through some of around the edges of the field a little bit and that. But yeah, nothing sort of out of place really in the windmill. It doesn't look like it's been sort of abandoned in a hurry. You'd guess that from it being boarded up and everything.
Can I just knock on the door?
Sure. Yeah, go for it. So you wait for a couple of seconds. There's no response.
Okay.
Stealthy.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Is it worth just Jimmy in the door?
I reckon you should just bash through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna. Well, how are you gonna?
I'll go as I started out in this
through
world. I will just go heavy-handed in.
So with your sword then. Or are you going to try and pull
let's do some hand axe action.
Yeah, hand axe. Okay. Well, hand axe is kind of for throwing, but
you still got the axe from last time, haven't you?
Oh, you're still carting around the axe from the house.
Yeah, I picked up one from the house.
Sure. Okay.
I lost mine.
Yeah. All right. Well, make an attack roll on the door.
Okay. Attack.
What did you get?
5.
Okay. Add your attack bonus for your sword.
My attack bonus is.
It's in the middle box there.
Middle box. Okay, so it's 5. So
okay, so you got a 10.
10.
Well, the door didn't really try and dodge, so you definitely hit it. Can you?
Splinters everywhere.
Can you roll a d6 and add your strength modifier? So regular 6-sided dice and
5.
Your strength mod is, I think, +3. Is it?
Strength.
No, it's here.
Oh, okay.
So whatever the plus is on your damage.
+3.
+3. So 8. Yeah, I mean, a couple of swings, you get through those planks, no trouble. It doesn't look like it was being barricaded. It just sort of sealed up, sort of thing. So after you take a few seconds to really sort of show off and get your axe skills going. Yeah, you break into this into the windmill.
Yeah.
You're going inside. You're just going to hack through the beams and walk away.
And that's how I roll.
Local teens will thank you.
Yeah. I'll enter, but I'll enter carefully.
Carefully? Okay.
Yeah.
So with some trepidation, like with the axe still in hand, maybe? Or,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So as you walk in, it's very kind of musty smell. You can smell like sort of there's a little bit of sort of gone off kind of oats and things. If you ever smelled like bags of flour and stuff like that, it does smell like, you know, it's a little bit past it that maybe been abandoned in here. As you walk in, you do see a little bit of movement off to the side, but as you turn around, it does just seem to be a couple of rats that are scurrying away from you.
Okay.
Otherwise, though, all is silent.
I'll just call to NFA and say, "Dude, I'm in. Come on in with me."
There goes the stealth check.
I'm not on my own.
I'm not on my
To anyone paying attention.
You just yeah.
Do I stay hidden even though he's talking to me?
That's up to you. What do you want? You know, for anyone.
I'm gonna just sneak in.
Yeah.
And just kind of ignore him.
Okay.
Dude, I'm right here.
Sure.
I'm gonna do an investigation check on the room.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
We have. Is this investigation? Yeah. 14.
Yeah. 14. Yeah. There's some abandoned kind of crates of like flour and bags of bags and things, but mainly it doesn't look like it was abandoned in a hurry. Really. There is a hatch in the ceiling to go up to another floor. But other than that, the sort of machinery down below for the grindstone and that is all kind of still in place, but it looks a bit sort of seized up. There's a lot of cobwebs and things all over it, and yeah, nothing really out of place. It's not like you found there's no like treasure chest or like
except for a dodgy looking hatch or some skulls or something.
I mean, there's a hatch to the upper ceiling, but
I reckon we go up.
Yeah. This
Um,
place seems proper deserted. So
How high is the ceiling?
7 or 8 feet
Okay, so
up to an upper floor.
step on my back.
can I?
Is it
No,
fair
can I
to think? Is it fair to think at this point that, like, with them having to hack through that? wall
Yeah,
and
they're out
everything,
of
that,
sight
like,
from you at the moment.
Have
They
I
both-
arrived yet?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've
outside
arrived.
the building.
Yeah, you're there. Right?
Okay, right. I want to come in, like, I can hear them doing stuff in there, so I'm just going to go in after them and be like, what's happening, gentlemen? Have we found anything interesting?
You're gonna pick Bork up and have him open the hatch.
Oh, cool. I don't really want to do anything physical, being a wizened, slightly feeble man, but I'll try.
You can stand on his shoulders if you'd rather.
Or either of you could stand on the ladder.
Can I send Apple?
The ladder might work.
What ladder?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention it. There's a small ladder.
I think you did an investigation. My inner voice is apparently not it's the ladder.
Yeah, no, yeah, so that's 100% on me.
This is why I was a little bit taken aback with the idea that I've got to like pick up my teammate all of a sudden and do like a
Promise.
I'll
take it.
Yeah, no,
Just check.
sorry, there's a ladder there. I'm an idiot, I'm a bad DM.
I've got a technical question of sorts.
Sure.
Is my familiar corporeal? Can it pass through objects?
It is corporeal, yeah, but
Okay.
when it loses when it takes any damage, it disapparates basically until you
Okay.
summon it again.
I just wanted to know if I could send it through the floor.
It is magical in nature, but it's not like a ghost kind of
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Right.
You've just got kind of like
answers my question.
you've got kind of a glowing dove, basically.
My tactical choice has been eliminated.
That's
so
fair
yes,
enough. No,
let's
it's-
go up. You guys want to climb a ladder and like risk your life?
There were some windows. We couldn't see through them, but your dove might.
True, I could send it up. Do you guys want to keep an eye for a minute while I sit and
Go
do
outside,
the
yeah.
blind eye white iris thing and look through the eyes of Apollonia?
Sure.
Okay, so Franz takes a seat and then like leans against the wall and eyes turn white or what have you as I look through the eyes of Apollonia. So I'll fly up so that we can see through a higher vantage point, see through the window.
Okay. So yeah, as you settle yourself down and sort of against the wall, and your vision blurs. All of a sudden, you can see yourself and these two, but from the hovering viewpoint of Apollonia.
The dove from above.
You quite enjoy the sensation of being able to fly all of a sudden, and looping up. There is a I wouldn't even really call it a window. It's more of like a kind of grain hatch type thing. About sort of it would be on the floor above you. There's a very darkened room inside that you find it's so dark, and with where the sun is at the moment, you can't actually see what's going on until you go inside. Basically, it's very kind of it's so kind of boarded up that it's very dark in there, and there's a few crates lying around. Again, you spy a couple of rats sort of moving along beams and things, but really not a lot else going on. There's nobody hiding. It does seem to be a little bit more open to the elements, though, seeing as how this hatch is kind of open on the side of the windmill.
Okay.
Sort of the axle for the grindstone and that is still, it comes up from the floor below and goes into the floor above, but there doesn't appear to be any more hatches above.
Okay then. Content that I have spotted everything that's in there and knowing that we'll probably open that hatch in a minute anyway, I'm just going to pop straight back out of Apollonia,
Sure.
straight back into my head, and sort of turn around to Enothe and say, so why did we want to come to this windmill again?
Hunch. It was mentioned at least twice in the introduction to this area.
Well, you go upstairs then and you tell me what your hunch has brought us.
Okay, I'm going to go upstairs.
Sure, okay.
And I guess I'll have a
look around.
check around for anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
See anything that I didn't.
I won't make you roll again for that because you've done quite a lot of investigation rolls. But again, you see everything that he saw with the crates and that. As you look out from the hatch, you can actually see that the angle it's at is quite interesting. As I said before, you would be unable to see you from the outside, but you've got quite a good view, quite a wide view of both the town and the forest to the northwest. So it's sort of quite a good vantage point, really. You can definitely see the buildings on the one side, and on the left hand side there's enough of the forest visible that you'd be able to see sort of the outskirts of that.
Okay. I'm going to suggest that we make sure we're stocked up on everything, because I think we went shopping earlier. Right?
Yeah, you bought some arrows and stuff, and you hadn't really used anything else.
I'm going to suggest that we camp out here during the evening to see if we can see anything going on, because we've got a good vantage point here, and I can see in the dark as well. You guys can sleep, and if anything happens, I can wake you up.
So going for like a kind of afternoon nap type situation to just sort of.
It'll be later on in the day, so we can go and explore a bit more first.
Go back.
You're just kind of in.
Can we frolic in the fields of wheat?
We can, I'm sure we
spend
can,
several hours running through the fields of wheat.
It's a bit naughty.
Farmers weren't too happy.
The farmers won't be too happy. But I'm sure we can do something like that.
So you're just kind of earmarking this down as a possible place to hang out later?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Instead of
our base of
our home base.
Home base. Windmill base.
Windmill base. Yeah. Okay. What do you guys think?
No, that sounds good.
Well, we're still looking for these kids, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, is there anything we could see, like, in the landscape? Perhaps while we're doing this, while we're sort of chatting about the fact we're going to stay here, we're still upstairs, or at least Enothe is still upstairs right now. Is there anywhere that's visible on the landscape that's sort of like a point of interest that might be worth sort of heading towards next?
From what he can see upstairs, you've got kind of, there's either the town or the forest, really. But like that's not what I mean. It's like you can go any direction you want,
right,
but like this kind of the windmill's kind of position, sort of, as I say, the sort of the edge of the field leading away from the town, and it is kind of surrounded by forest, pretty much in like a kind of arc around it.
Okay. Well, I've got a feeling like maybe we don't want to get too far from this town, because it feels like there was a reason to suspect that member of the Watch, and he's not going to be travelling too far from town to be doing whatever he might be doing.
I didn't see where he was coming from, though.
It might be worth going back and having a look to see if we could trail him a little bit more, perhaps.
We've got no way of contacting each other over long distance, do we?
No, you don't. You don't have
with
pages
that
or
thought in mind, I could launch fire into the sky. If you need to know where I am, I can like send flares out and be like, "Look, here I am." I could set fire to buildings to do that. Alternatively,
fire.
You make.
At these levels, there are spells, but at higher levels for doing that kind of thing, like message spells and things like that. But you don't know them at this point.
Unless it's fire-based messages, but Prance won't care anymore.
No. What do you reckon then? Should we go back to town for a little while?
It's definitely worth keeping an eye on him, but I also think it's worth keeping an eye on this stretch, because it seems like if the children were kidnapped from his house first, the forest would be logical place for
I mean,
hiding.
yeah, his house would be the closest one to where you are.
And the windmill grants us the best vantage point of both of those things.
Yeah.
True.
Or do you want to, as you seem to be having much better luck rolling for good investigation, do you want to just hang back and just keep an eye out and we'll go back?
I can wait here and you guys can
Okay.
go into town and
We can do the down bit
So
again.
we'll go back to town then and sort of try and catch a glimpse of this guy as
maybe
he's
check out
going
the
about
temple
his
some more
routine.
as well, because the temple was.
Oh, I do like the temple. We
I'll
can
keep an eye
talk
on
about
him.
the harvest again.
Yeah, don't let him burn. But I saw the guardsman outside the temple, didn't I?
It was kind of on the town square. I mean, the temple's on the town square, but so is the watch house and some other businesses and things. So it was near the temple, but there's a lot of stuff near the temple.
I think that's a good plan. I'll stay here and I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah.
And you guys can wander back into town.
Okay, so you start wandering back into town. So it's roughly midday at this point. Just as you kind of get to the, I'll come back to you. Anything, yeah. Just as you kind of get back to the edge of town, you do see coming from a different direction, more kind of northeast, but also sort of heading kind of back in as a kind of quite not angry, but sort of disappointed looking, quite large gentleman. He's got quite a big bushy beard, and he's got a bow slung over one shoulder, and I say he's sort of grumbling to himself. He doesn't look very happy.
You see that guy walk?
I do.
Do you reckon we should talk to him? I mean, he looks a little bit peeved, but he's coming in our direction. It seems like, I don't know, we could get a bit of information out of him.
I mean, we could try, and if he's not responsive, then let's just follow him.
Let's see, which one of us should talk to him? Because
I feel like you've left your smooth talker at the windmill.
I mean, I could engage him on subjects like history or religion, but he doesn't look like the type necessarily.
You don't know. Never judge a book by its cover.
True.
This is true. Well, I have a +1 charisma, so...
What's my career? Oh, well, on that basis then, yeah. if you want to flash me a smile and convince me, then I will, by all means, allow the charismatic Bork to take on the conversation, because I have got... As you may have gathered thus far, Prance is not a charismatic character necessarily.
But nor does he want to be.
No, he's down with himself.
That kind of thing is not his bag, baby.
That's straight.
Yeah, I'll play that game and...
Okay, so
Just give him a
he's
nudge
not
on
really walking towards you. He's just kind of you just notice him also walking back into town. You going to approach him then, or are
we crossing paths like in a...
No, he's kind of
on the other side of the street almost?
He's kind of
distance?
parallel. Yeah, you're both kind of. He's coming from one side part of the woods. You're coming from another part of the woods, for all intents and purposes.
Okay. I think I'll just give a good day to you, sir.
He kind of right. Sort of. He doesn't really stop or break pace. He just kind of keeps walking. He does kind of eye you a little bit suspiciously though, as he walks.
I mean, do I go straight in with a leading question on this? Or?
Yeah, Prance is kind of looking over at Bork like, go on.
Go on.
You're doing well.
What's happening? What's up? How's your day going?
Well, pretty shit, you ask me.
Oh. Any particular reason?
Well, you might notice from my bow.
It's a lovely bow.
Thank you kindly.
Charming.
You're a charming man, Bork Mantuk, as you remember Thora saying previously in the inn.
Thanks, I'm charming.
Says, no bloody game in the woods at all. Out there all morning looking for deer. Fucking goblins got them all.
Oh shit, man. I can't really help you with that, I'm afraid. Where are you heading now?
Well, not much for it. Going to be a pint.
Pint time.
And then, Prance definitely has a little moment of like, what, drink?
Drink?
We could join this gentleman, perhaps?
Would you mind if we joined you for a drink?
It's free country. Well, mostly anyway.
To the bar!
The chuckle at the end of that was me as the DM, not the character. I just want to put that
in character.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just go to the bar, have a drink, just one drink.
Good lunchtime drink.
And then we'll get back to the questing.
Okay. We'll soften him, with a drink.
I like there's varying levels of professionalism in this group, and to two of you are going to the pub. One of you is keeping an eye out on the woods in case the missing children show up.
I've got 15 gold pieces burning a hole in my pocket right now.
I've got 3 from the dead bodies. So.
Yeah.
My character just shudders randomly in the windmill and just,
something's happening.
something horrible is happening.
Yeah. Like, a little bit of an aside, the money system in D&D is a little odd because, like I say, 15 gold isn't a lot if you're talking about buying, like, magic potions and stuff. But it's a hell of a lot if you're talking about buying food and accommodation.
Stuff, yeah.
Because, like...
You could live like kings.
Well, yeah, no, basically, like the food and, like, a meal will cost you, like, 5 or 6 copper, which is, like pennies.
Well, I think we could soften him by just buying around.
Yeah, I feel like I could make it rain at this point.
Not so purple this time.
Yeah.
Golden showers.
I will give everybody a golden shower.
Okay, so you're just gonna... Are you sort of keeping pace with him, or are you gonna
sort
of walk along behind him?
With him, yeah.
Pronce's pace is absolutely the sort of like there's a spring in the step now that there's drink at the end of
Alcohol's been mentioned. You've got a purpose in life. Yeah, okay. Alright, so takes you guys a minute or so. You know, you're pretty... It's not a big town. You're actually... From the angle you're approaching it, you're not too far from the pub, really. So you walk in, Thor's behind the bar, no sign of Titus at this point, but the guy with the bow walks up to the bar, and Thor greets him and goes, you're right there, Rolf. A little bit early to be back from the woods, isn't it? He kind of grumbles something under his breath, basically repeating his complaint to you guys that, like, the fucking goblins got them all, and that, and she puts quite a large pint... It's not really... It looks bigger than a pint glass. It's a big flagon of ale in front of him, and he kind of goes, thank you kindly, and he goes and walks over and sits down at a table.
Seeing that flagon of ale, Franz walks straight over, like, quite rapidly to the desk. Goes, 1 ale, please.
Sure, all right, I'll be 2 copper then.
How much would one gold buy me? How many coppers to a gold?
It's like 100 coppers to a gold.
Shit, we need to go to the bank.
So, you want 1 book?
Yeah, I'll have one.
Drinks are on me. Anybody else in the bar right now?
I mean, there's the hunter, Rolf. Couple of older looking gentlemen who you guess are like, they don't do a lot of work anymore, but like since the pub's open, they're down there.
The barflies.
Yeah, the barflies are around. There's 2 or 3 other people.
I feel like maybe our group has not... I don't know if we'll get a reputation, but like we've come through... We're going to be known at this point. We're hanging around for a while, so I'd like to buy the local barflies some drinks.
I mean, it certainly wouldn't help it certainly wouldn't hurt to grease the wheels around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, drinks for everyone.
Okay,
and I'd like to wink at the barmaid and say, 2 coppers for you too, love. Buy yourself something nice.
Oh, you changed your tune since this morning, then.
That was a good sleep. I now have Apollonia, as you see.
I saw you after you slept, but whatever. It's fine.
It was a pleasant walk.
Okay, so you throw down your... Fair enough. You throwing down 1 gold piece then, I take it? Okay.
A whole gold.
Now I need to get my calculator out and work out your fucking change. Like...
No. Okay. We're not going to do change. Prance is like completely happy.
Oh, you bought open a tab.
The entire gold coin is like, I'm buying this place for as long as we need it, basically.
Fair enough. I mean, that'll get you... A gold will get you a long way.
That's it. I want to make sure that
we're going to be there for a few nights.
Goodwill is coming our way.
Yeah. That's fair enough. Yeah, okay. Well, that's... Yeah.
So, on that note, I would like, if she's given me the beer...
Yeah, she puts a bunch of them along the bar, and the barflies are pretty quick to... Like, they look a little bit old, like they're older men, but, like, the prospect of a free drink, they make it there fairly quickly.
I can imagine the types.
Yeah.
Types to grunt rather than say anything.
Well, when you turn around and be like, around for the bar, like, there's a kind of chorus of... And it's a lunchtime crowd sort of thing, and they're very happy to drink.
Cheers, Bork.
Cheers. Shall we join the guy that we passed? You think there's more to it?
Let's go over now that everybody's kind of on our side.
Yeah.
And
there's a merriment.
Yes,
it seems.
You bought one for him as well, I take it.
Oh, there's enough drink. Like as I say, I'm bought everything. So if he wants one, he can have it.
He doesn't come up to the bar to get it though. He just kind of give you a nod as like sort of, oh, thank you very kindly.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, sir.
May we join you?
Yes, may we join you?
Well, yeah, you bought me a drink. I should say that pays for some conversation.
Wonderful. Would you like to continue the talking as the charismatic one of the two of us, or should I take a swing?
I think it depends. Like the charismatic thing is only going to come down if you try and persuade him of something, or if you're deceiving him, really, because that's when you're going to be rolling. But it's up to you guys.
Can we get a gauge on did buying the drink kind of loosen him up a little?
Yeah,
because it seemed like he was a bit surly.
He was. I mean, with reason though. It's not like. You get the feeling like he was pissed off. He'd spent his whole day so far hunting, couldn't find anything, and had realised that maybe some goblins had been in the area and taken, what game there was to be had. So he was noticeably surly when you met him. But now he's having to sit down. He's got a pint in front of him. He's definitely loosened up a little bit and.
Okay.
You get the feeling he's not an angry man by nature. You just caught him at a bad time.
Just frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm game to take a swing then. I bet Franz feels confident enough to take
like I say, out of character, the charisma thing is a good gauge role-playing wise that have how you want to play your guy, and it comes in when you're going to be doing rolling for persuasion checks and stuff. So if you're not very charismatic and you're trying to persuade someone, you're not going to get many bonuses to your rolls. But it's there as like a sort of... When we're talking in character, as like a kind of a guide that you can use for yourself to be like, well, my guy's not got very good charisma, he's not going to be particularly tactful or something like that.
Okay, so let's have a little chat then. It's always funny going into the character mode.
Well, you think it's like you haven't got to do a voice.
Well, no, true. Yeah, I could set myself that challenge, but no. Yeah. As Franz going to say to him, you seem like a man that might be familiar with this area.
Aye, born and raised.
So, could you tell us, are there any people, perhaps everybody, the local characters, everybody that works in the various roles around here? Is there anybody that you feel like that's perhaps suspicious? Have you seen anybody out in the woods lately where they perhaps shouldn't be? Is there anything that you've just seen that you've...
No, not really seen anyone out in the woods from the town. I mean, bloody tribe of goblins moved in the area about a month ago. They've been tearing the place up. In fact, you wouldn't be part of the group who killed some over at the old cottage outside the town the other day, would you?
Oh yes, terrible affair. They came in with these blazing torches, and I look over at Bork, little wink, nudge, both of us giving it backwards and forwards. It looks like
giving it big star. That's so.
Yeah. So then of course we slaughtered them and saved that girl and the owlbear.
Okay, I'm going to need you to make a deception check with this. I'll give you advantage on it because Bork's backing you up. So roll twice and take the higher.
Okay, what size die?
D20.
D20.
So yeah, because you got advantage.
We got a 13.
13. Roll again second time because it might be higher. 10. Okay, so 13. Have you got any? You're plus 0 on that. On deception.
On deception. Yeah,
plus 0. I mean, 13. I mean, you guys have previously... Nobody's had any reason to doubt your guys' story, and you're just kind of reiterating the previous story. So, yeah, he kind of... Again, you're not the most convincing guy in the world, but, he hasn't got any real reason to doubt you with this. It's not like... I mean, if you'd have crit failed that, you would have been, blatantly giving off the, I'm lying signs. But, he's sort of, okay.
We're getting away with it. Okay, so...
Yeah. He sort of, okay, so...
It really sounds like these goblins are a big problem around here. Yeah. At least they're getting to be.
I mean, you probably helped Mattis thin the herd out a little bit, but they wouldn't have been the big boss or his boys.
I thought I'd killed the big boss. I thought he was on fire.
Well, there's a lot of goblins in a tribe.
Okay, so in character, Bork, it sounds more and more likely that this is a goblin problem and perhaps not a man problem. What do you think?
It does. These troubles you've been having with orcs, goblins. Scratch that. As far, I mean, have they just been attacking the local kind of livestock and game, as you've been saying, or is it?
Yeah, I mean,
they hear any more than that?
They move from place to place. Sometimes stay over much as a year until they've, taken as much of the local wildlife, stolen what they can from the neighbouring towns and stuff. These ones, like I say, have been here a couple of months out in the woods.
Has there not been any feeling like you should, you as a town should try and drive them out?
Well, up till the fire, they, to be honest, haven't done anything really to attack the town. I mean, they get in my way with the hunting and that, but you know, it takes a lot to roil up. It takes a lot to get the watch out of their bloody house. But yeah.
Well, I mean, you say they've not done a lot, but not to spread rumours around. But we've heard that some children have gone missing. Do you not tie those two things together at all?
Not a lot of detectives around these parts.
Yeah, fair enough.
Prons raises an eyebrow as if to say, did it really take detective work to put these two things together?
Well, you would guess from like what Officer Lambert had said to you before is that he's the one who's had the theory that the goblins or somebody was that it was a conspiracy at all, really. Because I mean, whether there was a sinister motive or not, what the other officer Barrick was saying was that he didn't think there was anything. You know, kids go missing. Some of them were orphans. They could have gone anywhere. You know, so I mean, and it's only really happened in the last week anyway. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it seems like a lovely town that we've come into the last.
That it is. Like I say, born and raised.
We were actually just left the bar, the pub this morning, and we'd taken a look at the place, and the views are really nice. There was a windmill. It looked kind of old, and I mean, is that not in working order anymore? Whose was that?
Out past Carver's farm. Yeah, old man Carver died a couple of years ago. He's got some son, moved away up to the capital. Some kind of law-minded fella.
So that place is not being used by anyone.
Well, the son owns the farm, rightly. He doesn't want anything to do with it, though. Won't sell up, though.
Yeah.
Abandoned. Well, a good base of operations should we need it.
Yeah, sounds alright then for now.
I feel like we've perhaps milked this man for all the information that's pertinent to our little quest here. So I'd like to give him a big cheers.
Thanks.
Clash.
He raises his glass. Thanks again.
And Prance does it in such a way as to get as much beer over everything as possible.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It spills a bit, and it looks a little bit clumsy.
Wonderful. But they're absolutely pleased with that.
Yeah.
So on that note, we'll chug it back, finish our drinks.
Okay.
And then shall we head back to Enothe and fill him in on this? Because I feel
so
like he
meanwhile,
might be looking for a human where what we're really looking for is a goblin.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, anyway, they've been gone about an hour. You haven't seen anything, really. You've been hanging out in the loft, you know, keeping a watchful eye.
Just chilling out.
Yeah, chilling out.
Just relaxing.
You know, there's birds flying around, and it's a nice day, but like you don't really see any kind of movement. I mean, you didn't hear you weren't there, and you haven't met this guy, but you don't see any kind of wildlife like deer size around or anything. But like that wouldn't be too, you know, it's not a big kind of suspect thing really. But you know, you're having a fun time hanging out in an abandoned windmill,
and not being with Bork and
it's a moment of peace that you've been craving. Craving all morning.
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so you two just going to go rejoin?
We're headed straight back out to meet him
so it takes
at the windmill.
Back another 15-20 minutes to get back to the windmill, and you see them approaching from quite a ways off. You've got a fairly good vision when it comes to these things.
Elf eyes.
Yeah, your elf eyes see them. Well, no, proving once again that the vantage point from the hatch, you've got a good view approaching from town. Yeah.
Cool.
An oath. We have news.
You got the name right earlier.
Enothe.
Yay!
Prance doesn't get it right.
Prance, yeah.
I get it right. Prance doesn't get it right.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's in keeping.
So, an oath. We went back to town, and this idea about the that man you followed, I feel like you might have just stalked somebody for no particular reason. Because we're getting hints. Very strong hints that this is just goblins. Like, there's just more of those bastard goblins. And I don't know about you, but I've got a fiery feeling about these goblins. And I just look at you two like, are we going to do something fiery?
But why would goblins be stealing children specifically?
Why not? Maybe they've enslaved them. Maybe they want to eat them. Maybe they're livestock.
Did you ask?
Well, we came across a guy who'd just been out in the woods trying to hunt and couldn't find anything, and he said that this place was deserted and some Mr. Carter owns the land, but there's
Carver.
Carver.
Yeah.
Carver. He owns the land, so we could keep this place as a base for now. It seems like no one uses
That'd be
it.
useful at least.
That's all we got so far. Oh, there's an open tab at the bar if you want to drink later.
Yes, I made it rain gold.
Yeah, just a quick note to listeners there. 2 out of the 3 players then did the Salt Bay pose with the make it rain thing.
I don't meme like you kids.
we only do the dankest of memes.
I like my memes like I like my basements. Dank. Thank you.
It's like a ye olde English joke about memes.
Ye meme.
Anyway, yeah, so
Ye memes.
you made it rain.
So, gentlemen, I feel that we need to go looking for these goblins. Personally, I feel like the kids, we're probably going to be on the right track if we take these people out. And if nothing else, we'll be doing the townfolk a favour. And as I said, I've just got a fiery feeling that I really need to indulge right about now.
You lit.
Like, Prance looks genuinely like there's a tension building up, like this is a thing that has to be released every now and again.
His cheeks are looking a little bit rosier than normal.
Do you want to... Well...
Prance might be a little bit of a lightweight.
You sound like a man on a mission. Did you want to look for these goblins back towards the direction of where we first encountered them, or the woods that is near this windmill, right? It's
yeah, you would get the feeling that kind of from
further north, right?
Putting together, from what the hunter guy said, it would kind of be sort of northwest of where you're at, sort of thing.
I think that based on where we saw that hunter coming from, we met a hunter, by the way. Another thing.
It's killing me.
We met a hunter and he told us about orcs killing wildlife. So we're like, this is where I'm getting this strong hunch from, is that if nothing else, the orcs need to be taken out, and there's a chance that they'll come and get us while we're in the town. So let's be proactive, and let's go and see where the hunter came from. We saw where he was walking down the path. We could probably just kind of like turn around from the direction he was coming from and head in that direction.
So is he coming from the forest area?
Yeah.
So you want to go into the forest?
Absolutely. He said that he'd had no luck with game and that he blamed it directly on goblins, so I get the feeling like there must be obvious signs of them around. Perhaps we could get in there, see if we can find a trail, see if we can find some traps maybe. What do you think, gentlemen?
I'm down. We've had a nice little morning walk. I'm bonding with you a little bit this time.
Oh.
Might have the beer might have helped, but I'm down for going in the
You
woods.
can tell we're British playing Dungeons and Dragons. None of your characters trust each other until you start drinking.
Hey, speak for yourself.
If a man doesn't drink, then you got questions. So.
I think it might be good for you guys. Why don't you guys get some sleep and we head in a few hours when it's darker? I think we'll have an advantage when it's dark.
It's 2 PM.
Yeah, have a nap. I feel like it makes more sense to wait here until we see that they're actually in the forest.
Till nightfall, kind of thing.
Unarmed and completely uninformed.
I take your point. Maybe we'll be able to see that there are campfires in the woods more easily at night.
Yeah, we can find the fire.
There are things... yes, that's a very good point.
Nice.
Saying to the crowd.
Well, now... You make a good point, Bork, that it's 2:00 in the afternoon, and I do feel I will struggle to sleep at this moment. However, I do have a solution to this.
Yeah, you guys have really only been awake since about 7 or 8 in the morning.
I'm pretty sure they're going to go and drink now. Why don't you guys go back to
Don't steal my thunder, damn you.
Just go and get drunk and stagger back later, it's fine.
Do you not want to come with us?
No.
Now that you've preempted my suggestion.
No.
Free drinks. We got all the food to drink. We could go.
One
crazy.
of us should probably be sober if we're going to go and hunt goblins in the forest.
Barmaid.
We can sober up when we sleep. I'm not going to get too drunk.
Once you've had one drink and your face is already the same colour as the fire you set.
That's as much of a response as you're getting out of Prance.
You guys go and drink.
Dragons was about like fighting things and we're just sat here around going to the pub.
role-playing an argument about
No, it's just
Role playing somewhere where we all have a social life.
Oh dear, too close to home.
My feels.
we come together to record ourselves. We come together to record ourselves pretending to go outside.
We got too deep.
But we pretend we go outside on walks and go to the pub.
Shit's getting meta.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So on that note, I suppose me and Bork will go back to town to have a few more drinks and see if we can, I don't know, put ourselves to sleep for a couple of hours for you. What time do you want us to come back?
Come back in a couple of hours.
A couple. That's 2 hours, man.
It's early summer, so you would guess
to get there.
sundown is probably about 8 o'clock at night.
Okay,
It's sort of early
back.
afternoon.
It's 2 o'clock. So come back for about 6:30.
Okay.
6:30. I'm going to be there. I'm just doing mental calculations as you and I walk away, Bork.
You're trying to
Sort
think
of
how many
saying, like,
drinks you can get in that
I
time.
feel like the amount of drinking time versus sleeping time, like, we might struggle here.
Yeah. At this point, I'm pretty sure they've walked away. And
Yeah,
my
he's-
character is basically just hitting his head against a wall.
So you're going to still hang out at the windmill?
I'm just going to wait at the windmill.
Do you want to do anything while they're away, or are you just going to sort of... Are you just playing Skyrim and pressing T to wait several hours?
I'm just going to check my equipment, make sure everything's sharp and ready. And make sure
Yeah, okay.
nothing's
Just
falling
preparing it, doing a little bit of a preparation montage.
apart. Preparing my body, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some push-ups maybe, training montage.
win!
I feel like while this is happening, we should be having a drinking montage.
Sure. I'm actually going to need you to do a Constitution saving throw. Both of you, just to see how drunk you're getting.
Well, I'm pretty
4
decent
hours.
on Constitution. I got a 16, so
15, yeah.
Let's see.
We could be good drinkers.
my roll is 18.
So yeah, I mean, as much as you did seem to be getting a little bit rosy after that first drink, even after the walk back, I mean, you're handling your liquor quite well.
This is Pronce's inscrutable way.
Yeah. There's some silent praying to the dice gods there. I can see it.
My rolls are not very good in this game. 12.
12.
I'm a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
3 foot. Right?
you're keeping up pace wise, but your height wise and body mass is not quite as, you're smaller. That you're a halfling.
Things are fuzzy.
So yeah, you got a nice buzz going. You both got a good buzz going. You're feeling a little bit.
I'm king of the world.
Yeah, you're not trashed, but you're like warm feelings.
Oh
all like
yeah,
that,
I'll
and-
talk to strangers.
Yeah,
That kind of thing. Yeah.
you're staggering. You're not walking in a straight line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have fun, be merry,
Yeah.
eat, drink,
Yeah.
spend time carousing with people in the bar, and then
Sure.
get
Yeah.
a little bit of sleep, and we'll.
Anyone in particular you're kind of on keeping an eye out for in the bar, or are you just kind of generally going to spin?
We'll keep an
carousing?
eye out for anybody from the watch, perhaps.
I was to say if we keep an eye out for the uncle again. Once he's come back, check if how the kid's doing.
If he comes in.
Or if he comes in, of course, we can see how things are going.
Yeah. So we'll spend an hour or two doing that.
Yeah, there's no real sign of Officer Lambert coming by at all. You would guess maybe he's working, and that Samaya's a young child. He would guess, especially after the events of the previous. It would have been two days before actually at this point, wouldn't it? No, you only had the one night.
Day.
Well, it's the day before.
Yeah.
But he's probably keeping her quite safe, maybe wherever his house is or whatever.
Okay.
The bar sort of fills up with the people. Some people leave later on. It's the sort of the only kind of place in town for drinking, really.
Is it reasonable to think that as people come and go, we're getting known because I've paid for everything that everybody's coming in for?
Yeah, I mean, as everyone's coming, I mean, you're about to hit your gold limit probably after the afternoon, especially if you guys are still drinking as well. Because your 1 gold would buy you 50 drinks. So
Don't tell me how much I enjoy.
So I don't know. Or let's say over the course of the afternoon, you guys have 4 drinks
Yeah, it's a nice balance.
each.
Get
So
by.
that's 8 there. Plus, however, you're approaching your gold limit.
Okay.
But that was 1 gold. So I think
And I've got 14 more.
you're in a country pub. It's quite you've got it's quite cheap.
Okay.
So
Let's hope the stag party don't turn up.
Well, as we're just still in the
Just
bar,
in general.
just for utility's sake,
Yeah.
is there any food I can purchase? Just
Yeah,
to sort of
sure,
take
yeah.
with us?
Yeah, they do. They do food.
Can I get a packed lunch?
A packed lunch. Sure. Yeah. We'll call it another 5 copper
5 copper. Can I get enough so that all of us can do this? And have I got enough in the bank, or would you like me to put down another gold?
We can just take it out of that.
Okay. So I bought 1 pack lunch for each of us.
Yeah.
So
Get a pub lunch.
I'll get a nice one for Enoth there, and we can bring that back to him. Make up for leaving him sat in a windmill for a few hours.
Sharpening things.
Yeah.
So on that note, I'm happy to sort of like stagger upstairs, get a little bit of rest.
Getting a couple of hours sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the afternoon wears on. The two of you have, fun times in the pub. Not worrying too much about life. You're getting a little bit trashed. You get an hour or so sleep in, and then it's about time to sort of start walking back towards the windmill. It's getting a little bit darker in the sky now. It's sort of got a nice sunset over in the west. Is that the way? I'm a fucking astronomer. I should know what direction the sun's. Over in the west, the sun is setting.
Land of the rising sun.
Yeah. It's one of those. It's too hot. It's so hot.
It is very warm today.
Anyway, you see them coming. A little bit more weaving than before, especially from Bork. But they're on their way. And you make it back to the windmill just as the sun is starting to set.
An oath! I have food!
I don't know if you're drunk because you mispronounced it, or if you're sober because you mispronounced it.
They've had a couple of drinks. You can.
We are ready to hit the woods.
Very ready.
Very ready. We even bought you a meal.
Thank you.
You must be hungry.
Thrust the meal into your hands. What have we got, by the way? What have they prepared for us, just out of curiosity?
There's some roasted like potatoey type things, and some there's some sort of salted pork and stuff.
Scratchings.
Yeah, just some pork scratchings. You bought it in a bar.
This is getting more and more England.
There's a fruit machine in the corner.
Love it.
not in a it's literally just a machine.
It's a machine. You pull the lever, like a lemon falls out. I mean, it's
food.
It's awkward for them to bring it to you, so it's basically like a little bag with some food in that has all kind of mixed itself on the way, but like it's still kind of warm somehow. And
I wolf down the vegetables and stuff, and then give them the meat to eat.
Yeah.
I'll put the pork in my pocket.
A bit of pocket pork doesn't hurt anyway.
Damn straight.
Still nothing happened since we've been away?
No, I haven't seen anything. You guys get some sleep. I'm going to keep watch. Try and sleep off.
We did sleep. We've just been sleeping. You told us to go away and sleep, man. We slept.
Go home. We had a power nap.
Yeah, they drank for a bit and then had a power nap.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they're still weaving.
Power nap.
They drank like Bork's a 3-foot man. He had 4 pints.
We only slept for an hour.
I have another couple of hours sleep.
You have another couple of hours sleep. Okay, to get things moving. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, for the sake of brevity, it's you guys wake up again. Okay, that's about going to do it for this episode. We hope you all enjoyed it. Tune back in next time for the next part of the adventure. We always want to hear your thoughts, comments and questions about the show, and you can get in contact with us on Twitter and Facebook, both of which we are at PretendWithDice. You can also now email us directly at pretendingwithdice@outlook.com. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please rate and review us as well. We really want to hear your opinions, and it just helps us to reach new listeners. It's all quite important that way. Once again, thanks so much for listening. See you all next time.